The second type of composite shape that we could have is where one regular shape or more than one regular shape is subtracted from another regular shape. And in these cases, we're often going to have a shape which has gray in it, okay? And then there's going to be a white circle, or not circle, white shape that has been cut out. In this case, it's a white circle. And usually we're going to be taking a look at calculating for the shaded region, okay? Calculating for the shaded region. Now, when we look at this here, we're going to always have one that is usually bigger than the other. The bigger one is going to have the shaded region in there, and the smaller one is going to be the cutout. So how we solve for questions like this here. First thing that we need to do, and this was the same as we did in the prior one, we need to determine the shapes which are included in the shaded region and which ones are cut out, okay, or white. And I consider it cut out because we are kind of taking away from the shaded region, and so we'll call that the cutout region. The next thing that we need to do is to calculate the area of all the shapes involved. So that includes the shaded region as well as the cutout region. We have to include both of those in there. Finally, then what we're going to do is we're going to subtract the cutout region from the larger shaded region. Okay, so we're going to subtract the cutout region from the larger shaded region. In this case here, you'll notice that we have two shapes. We have a rectangle, which has been shaded in, and then we have this circle, which has been placed inside and is white. So we're going to be taking the large rectangle, finding the area of that, and subtracting the area of the circle that is on the inside here. So to start with that, let's find the area of the rectangle. Usually area of a rectangle tends to be maybe the easier one to find, length times width. And so there is our area is equal to 6 inches times 10 inches. And again, we can do that vice versa. It's going to give us the same answer. So our area is 60 inches squared. And there's the area of our rectangle. Now we could actually, and maybe I should have actually put this in here. This is our rectangle. Yeah, there's our rectangle. There are times it's nice to know kind of what piece we have and what piece, or what where our areas are. The next one is a circle. And the area of our circle is pi times r squared. Now in the previous example, we divided by 2, but that was because we had half a circle. Here we have our full circle. All right, so area is equal to pi times our radius squared. Well, what is the radius? There's no values that are given in our circle. What we can understand though is if there's nothing given, it tells us that the diameter is probably from the top to the bottom, the same distance as this side right here. So we have a diameter of 6 inches. It tells us that our radius is 3 inches. Okay, so it tells us that our radius is 3 inches. Right? Again, we are interpolating what we know into our new circle here. And then pi times 3 squared is going to be 28.27 inches squared. Something to be aware of here. You look at this circle, we can tell that the circle is definitely got a smaller area than the rectangle because we're going to subtract the circle from the rectangle. So our answer better be lower than our area for the rectangle. It is. And so we can kind of move on from there, but we have to just make sure about that. If it's not, we may have made an error. All right, total area is equal to the area of our rectangle, which is 60 inches squared, subtract the area of our circle, which is 28.27 inches squared. That's how we find our total area. Now here we're subtracting because we have a white circle inside of this rectangle, so we have a white piece that's inside of the rectangle. All right, 28.27, 31.73 inches squared. Now again, be aware of our units. Okay, this has units in there, so we have to make sure that our answer has units in there as well. So two shapes, one is smaller than the other and is being subtracted from the larger one. Make sure that we continue on in that manner. Question 4 deals with some questions where we're subtracting from the gray, so we have some cutouts. Please work on question number 4.